All right, let's get into our show here. Got some requests. Mikey got to do a giveaway, so let's do a giveaway. Here's what I'm gonna do. There's a local band over here in Tampa called Mr. Bella, and I know the singer Anne Marie. She's really chill. So here's what we'll do. Go like their the band's Facebook page, and I'll have her in about a week or so pick somebody, and we'll send them this. It's a Empire event with the mirrored lens. I was going to use this mask, but I've already got like 5 of them, so we'll give one of them away. I'll give this to her next time I see her, and tell her to pick it out. Pick someone who liked their fan page, and we'll ship it out to them with some Mr. Bell CDs. And let's get into something else, paintball related now. Greg Hastings has finally come out with the R7 camera. So you're seeing tons of pros using this out there on the field. And it came out with a genius mount for this thing. A genius mount. Mounts right on the feed neck of a lot of guns. And let me go get my axe here, and I'll show you basically what I had to do here was basically I just had to spread it apart just a little bit, the mount, to fit over the clamp, and then it slipped right over. It locks right into the bottom. I know with a lot of guns, what they're doing is they just have to, so a lot of them you just have to remove the collar, your collar, and then it locks over the top of it. I know it fits most of the guns that are on the market. There's some that it doesn't, but I'm sure as they go along, they're going to come out with more and more mounts for it. But absolutely genius mount. Let me show it to you. So basically you've got this piece right here that holds the camera, and then you've got this piece here which basically serves as the ring for the camera mount. So it's for the feed neck. It's just a genius design, and you can see the quality's phenomenal. A lot of the pro players actually use it on the field, which, you know, if it's big and bulky, they're not going to use it on the field. If it affects their performance, they're not going to use it on the field. And you see teams all over the place are using it on the field with great results, both in the PSP and in the NPPL. And it's just really cool that finally we've got something specifically designed for paintball. I've been saying for years to come out with something maybe for a Picatinny mount, Picatinny camera mount, but no one was smart enough to think of that. But you know, luckily, you know, Greg Hastings finally came out with a really good one. I also know, I believe there's a prototype stiffy barrel kit that's going to mount to the barrel, and then the camera's going to mount, you know, almost directly to it mounts directly to the barrel. But it's, I've seen some pictures of it. I know it's not out yet, but this right here with the feed neck works really good. There's quite a few threads on TechB on will it fit, will it not fit, but you know, I've got it on mine right now, and we will be starting to film with this and seeing how it works. So far, I love the way it feels. It feels great, you know, in the hands. I mean, it's very, very little weight on the front of the gun. You barely know that it's there. I mean, probably once you have a full hopper, you know, you're going to barely even feel that on the front of the gun. I think it's just genius. Great job, you know, absolute great job by Greg Hastings to come up with that. It's really cool. Next thing, a lot of people have been asking me to do a Z2 review, Prophecy Z2. Now, probably next to the Pinocchio, the Z2 is probably my second favorite loader. I like it. It works really good. Probably my biggest complaint I had about it with the stock speed feed was it opening up when I was out there playing. I mean, if you watch a lot of snake players that are using the Z2, they dive into the snake, they run out of paint, because when they dive in, this thing flips open. So the stock speed feed, which let me go get it really quick. The stock speed feed opened up way too easy for me. That was probably my biggest complaint about it, was constantly emptying my loader when I dove into the snake. And that was definitely a really big problem that I had with it. But Virtue's come out with their new crown, and you definitely feel that it's on there a lot tighter. But I still would like to see you know, something where it snaps into place so that when you dive into the snake, it doesn't come up. It's something I'd never really have with my, you know, any problems that I have with my Pinocchio hopper. And on the same note of speed feeds, if you like your Halo or Pinocchio hoppers, go check out Paintball Gateway. They've got actually a metal ring that fits the Exalt speed feed. It works great. But definitely, this one definitely holds on there a lot tighter than the stock feed neck does, but overall it's been pretty nice. So probably 3 to 5 cases is about what I think I'm getting out of the battery life. Pretty easy, you know, on-off switch there. Let's go ahead and weigh it really quick. We know probably the lightest loader is going to be the Pinocchio, which weighs in at about a pound even. So you can see that, you know, it does have batteries in it. It's empty. Let's go ahead and weigh it really fast. So this one, the Z2 weighs in at 1 pound, 3 ounces. Holds a little bit more than the rotor. And it's been a nice loader. I like that it sits really low on the gun. It's easy to snap shoot with. Haven't really had any jams with it. I've had, you know, in terms of where I've had to, you know, physically spin it with the rip drive. I have had a couple times where I felt it kind of pulse, but then it self-clears itself. But overall, it's been really good, and it's definitely a nice loader if you're looking for something lower to snap shoot with. So that, you know, definitely a good job by Empire on the Z2. And that's why you've been seeing it in some of the videos. So I like to change it up. Let's see what else we got. Also, you guys that are going to Living Legends, I've got a Living Legends 5 jersey design, and I'll go ahead and put the pictures up here really quick, but I've got one designed both for the Horde and for the new Empire. So you got a red crest on your chest if you're Horde, you've got a blue crest on your chest if you're Empire, and I'll put the contact information in the video to order it directly from Animals. So I think it's going to be like maybe 65 bucks a jersey or something like that. So if you want to get a jersey for Living Legends 5, it's a real simple, nice. I really like the way the jerseys came out. It came out pretty good. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about. I remember just kind of looking through old emails and something I didn't really address before, and I kind of wanted to wait to see what the news was going to be before I even made a video on it. But I remember, you know, back a few months ago, people always thought, you know, NPPL, PSP merger, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I never saw that going to happen. I didn't think that was ever going to happen. So you got to remember, it's two completely different corporate structures. You got the PSP, which is owned, I think, like 90% by Dave Dehan, Dave Youngblood of Die, and then you've got the NPPL, which is broken up into, I believe, 10 pro teams that paid $10,000 each to own it. So obviously you've got a, you know, huge swing in regards to ownership, shares, corporate structure, this, that, and the other. So I will tell you this, is that as a consumer, okay, now I understand there's a lot of companies out there that had a vested interest in them consolidating or getting rid of one of them or whatever. As a consumer, anytime you lose a choice, it's bad, okay? Anytime you lose a choice, okay? When you can walk up to a place and say, I can do this or I can do this, and then this gets eliminated and all you have is this to choose for, that's, you know, choose from, that's bad. You know, there's a lot of politics, there's a lot of drama at the tournament level. I mean, it's definitely really ugly, and I think that having both leagues is very beneficial, not just to the tournament side of paintball, but I think it's very beneficial just for the industry as a whole, because if there was only one league, we would all be subject to whatever rules that they decided they wanted to come up with, okay? If they wanted to have a potato sack race before the game started, we would all have to do that, okay? If you got into an argument, or your team got into an argument and you know, you got frustrated with whatever happened, bad call or politics or whatever was, it really pissed you off, and you had nowhere else to go, okay? You had nowhere else to go if there was only one league. You know, they go on, post on PB Nation, blah, 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 I didn't like the way this happened. Chris Farrell decides, oh, you know, I'm just going to ban you from tournaments forever. Where would you go? Okay, you wouldn't be able to go anywhere. Okay, well, at least now you've got the choice of two leagues. Okay, and if you're a tournament player and you know, a tournament team, being able to choose between two major leagues is a good thing, okay? So if the NPPL really pisses you off, you get frustrated with the NPPL and you don't think things are going good there, you can go play the PSP. If the PSP really pisses you off and you're not liking what's going on there, you can go over and play the NPPL, okay? So you got two major tournament leagues, and as a consumer, you can choose from both of them. Now, I understand, as you know, as corporations and the powers that be in paintball, they really would want one consolidated league. Me as a consumer, I think it's a terrible idea. Absolutely terrible idea. I think you'd be giving, putting too much power into the hands of one body, and I think, you know, if you got into it with these people for whatever reason, you'd have nowhere else to hide. Nowhere else to hide. And nowhere else to go. So you got to think about that kind of stuff, and it's very important as a consumer. Everyone's, oh, they should just merge for the betterment of paintball. Bullshit, okay? Bullshit. The PSP and the NPPL are there to promote their business, okay? It's not their job to promote, you know, paintball as a whole and this, that, and the other. They're there to promote their business. The job of promoting paintball falls with the players, not with the corporations, okay? It's not Key's job, it's not G.I. Milsim's job. It's not Vulcan's job, okay? It's not Tippmann's job. It's not the NCPA's job, and it's not the PSP, and it's not the NPPL's job to promote paintball. They're there to promote their business. The promoting of paintball comes to you, okay? When you're sitting with your friends on a Friday night and they're asking what you're going to do next weekend or the weekend coming up or tomorrow, you know, there's nobody from the NPPL or from the PSP that's going to say, hey, come on over here and play, you know? And you can also tell they're not interested in really promoting it, promoting paintball as a whole anyway, okay? If you go to most of those tournaments, how much local field and store representation do you see at those events? Not a lot, okay? So, you know, once they pack up their circus and they leave, you know, there's really not much left there. There's not really a resonating of a business that percolates out to the local fields and stores. It doesn't really happen. It kind of did a few years ago, but you know, when the stores in the fields had the money to pay the thousands of dollars it costs to have a booth there, but you know, that's not really happening anymore. But if you go to any PSP and go to any NPPL and see if there's any local fields or stores there, it's usually you don't see any. So you know they're there to promote their business. The job of promoting paintball comes down to you. So if you think, oh, they should just merge for the betterment of paintball, it's going to be better for the sport, I think that's bullshit altogether. I think that's absolute nonsense. So you know, you give these people, the only thing right now that's really keeping the NPPL in check, and the only thing that's keeping the PSP in check, is the fact that they've got each other to compete with, okay? And the NPPL knows if they pull too much nonsense, people are going to move over to the PSP. And if the PSP knows they're going to pull, you know, they pull too much nonsense, people are going to go over to the NPPL. So it only affects a very small percentage of players, but their rules and their standards and their policies have a tendency to percolate down through all the other local tournaments and stuff like that. So consolidation of the leagues is a horrible idea, horrible idea. And you can even see it here recently with the you know, with the issues of, you know, you got Vulcan, Gino. I mean, you know, the one of the biggest names inside of paintball. You know, you're not seeing Vulcan paint now at the PSP events. Well, where did he go? He went to the NPPL. So, you know, if there was one consolidated league, you know, would Vulcan have representation there? You know, no, probably not. So anytime you eliminate all choices, give somebody a monopoly, and you know, that always ends up being bad. So that's my opinion of it. But above and beyond that, Living Legends coming right around the corner, and we're going to start getting some more gameplay videos up here pretty soon, and that's about it. So go check out Mr. Bella on Facebook, like their page, and we'll ship out an Empire Mask to somebody probably in the next week or so. Thanks for tuning in.